Welcome back to our journey through the history of the United States presidents. In Part 1, we explored the lives and legacies of the leaders who shaped the early years of the nation, ending with the remarkable Abraham Lincoln. Now we continue, uncovering the stories of those who followed in his footsteps, navigating a nation that was rapidly transforming in the wake of the Civil War. Andrew Johnson, the 17th president, assumed office in 1865 following Lincoln's tragic assassination. As a Southerner who remained loyal to the Union, Johnson faced immense challenges during Reconstruction. His presidency was marked by deep divisions with Congress leading to his impeachment, the first in American history. Although he was acquitted by a single vote, his presidency remains a controversial chapter. Johnson's struggles with balancing national unity and political disagreements highlight the difficulty of leadership in turbulent times. Ulysses S. Grant, a Civil War hero who served as the 18th president. Grant's administration focused on rebuilding the nation and fighting for civil rights, but it was also marred by scandals and corruption. Despite these challenges, Grant's efforts to protect the rights of newly freed African Americans left a lasting impact. His presidency also saw the ratification of the 15th Amendment, which sought to guarantee voting rights regardless of race. Grant's leadership, though imperfect, remains a key chapter in the ongoing struggle for equality. Rutherford B. Hayes, the 19th president, entered the White House after one of the most disputed elections in U.S. history. His presidency marked the end of Reconstruction, as federal troops were withdrawn from the South. Hayes championed civil service reform and sought to heal the lingering wounds of the Civil War. His efforts to restore public confidence in government and his advocacy for education reform were notable aspects of his tenure. Hayes believed in reconciliation and progress, even as the nation faced challenges of inequality and division. James A. Garfield, the 20th president, served for only a brief time. Tragically, his presidency was cut short by an assassin's bullet in 1881. Despite his short tenure, Garfield's commitment to reform and equality left an indelible impression. He sought to modernize the government and improve the civil service system. Garfield's untimely death brought national mourning and renewed focus on the importance of leadership stability. Following Garfield's death, Chester A. Arthur assumed the presidency. Known for his efforts to reform the civil service, Arthur signed the Pendleton Act, establishing merit-based appointments. His administration marked a shift toward greater professionalism in government. Arthur also worked to modernize the Navy, ensuring that the United States was prepared for challenges on the global stage. Despite initial skepticism about his leadership, Arthur's actions earned him respect as a capable and reform-minded president. Grover Cleveland, the 22nd and 24th president, holds a unique place in history as the only leader to serve non-consecutive terms. His first term was characterized by a commitment to fiscal conservatism and reform. During his second term, Cleveland faced economic challenges, including the Panic of 1893. Cleveland's dedication to integrity and accountability in government set a standard for leadership, even during times of national hardship. His policies often reflected his belief in limited government and personal responsibility. Benjamin Harrison, the 23rd president, presided over a period of rapid industrial growth. Under his leadership, the Sherman Antitrust Act was signed into law, laying the groundwork for regulating monopolies. Harrison also supported increased funding for the Navy, solidifying America's presence on the global stage. His administration saw advancements in technology and infrastructure, reflecting the nation's transformation into an industrial powerhouse. William McKinley, the 25th president, ushered the nation into the 20th century. His presidency was defined by economic prosperity and the Spanish-American War, which marked America's emergence as a global power. McKinley's leadership during this conflict expanded the country's influence abroad. Tragically, McKinley's life was cut short by an assassin in 1901, leaving the nation to mourn the loss of another leader whose vision had guided it through critical moments. Theodore Roosevelt, one of the most iconic figures in American history, became the 26th president following McKinley's death. Known for his boundless energy, Roosevelt championed progressive reforms, trust-busting, and conservation efforts. His square deal policies sought fairness for all Americans, and his legacy as a reformer endures to this day. Roosevelt also played a key role in expanding America's global influence through his foreign policies, including the construction of the Panama Canal. His larger-than-life persona and commitment to progress made him a defining figure of his era. William Howard Taft, the 27th president, is often remembered for his later role as Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. During his presidency, Taft focused on trust regulation and expanding the role of government oversight in business. He also sought to strengthen the judicial system, laying a foundation for long-term reforms. Taft's leadership reflected his belief in balancing executive power with judicial responsibility, an approach that influenced the country for years to come. Woodrow Wilson, the 28th president, led the nation through World War I. His vision for global peace culminated in the creation of the League of Nations, though the U.S. ultimately did not join. Domestically, Wilson's presidency brought significant reforms, including the establishment of the Federal Reserve and advances in labor rights. Wilson's ideals for international cooperation and his focus on progressive policies remain topics of discussion and debate among historians. Warren G. Harding, the 29th president, entered office in 1921, promising a return to normalcy after World War I. His presidency was marked by economic recovery and a focus on domestic stability. However, Harding's administration became infamous for scandals, including the Teapot Dome scandal, which exposed corruption among high-ranking officials. Despite these controversies, Harding's emphasis on rebuilding the nation's economy resonated with Americans eager to move beyond the war. The presidencies of Calvin Coolidge and Herbert Hoover saw the nation through the Roaring Twenties and into the Great Depression, each leaving distinct marks on the economic landscape. Franklin D. Roosevelt's unprecedented 4 terms led the IV country through the challenges of the Great Depression and World War II, implementing the New Deal and redefining the role of federal government. Truman, Eisenhower, Kennedy, Johnson, Nixon, Ford, Carter, Reagan, and George H.W. Bush followed, guiding the country through the Cold War, social transformations, and economic shifts. Bill Clinton oversaw a period of economic expansion, and George W. Bush faced the crises of 9/11 and the subsequent war on terror, shaping global and domestic policies. Barack Obama, the 44th president and the first African American to hold the office, brought a message of hope and change to the nation. His administration focused on major reforms, including the Affordable Care Act, aimed at expanding healthcare access to millions of Americans. Obama also dealt with the aftermath of the Great Recession, promoted renewable energy initiatives, and took steps toward addressing climate change. On the international stage, his leadership emphasized diplomacy, including the Iran nuclear deal and the operation that led to the death of Osama bin Laden. Obama's presidency remains a pivotal period of reflection on progress and ongoing challenges. Donald Trump, serving as the 45th president from 2017 to 2021, emphasized a platform of America First. His administration focused on deregulation, tax reform, and reshaping trade agreements. Trump's presidency was marked by significant political polarization and unprecedented use of social media to communicate directly with the public. His administration also saw major appointments to the judiciary and responses to global challenges, including the COVID-19 pandemic. Trump's impact on the political landscape continues to shape discourse in the United States. Joe Biden, the 46th president, took office in 2021, facing challenges including the ongoing pandemic, economic recovery, and addressing climate change. His administration has focused on advancing infrastructure investment, healthcare access, and international alliances. Biden's leadership has also prioritized efforts to promote national unity amidst deep political divides, reflecting his extensive experience in public service spanning decades. These leaders, each unique in their challenges and accomplishments, played critical roles in shaping the course of American history. From the trials of Reconstruction to the dawn of the 21st century and beyond, their decisions and actions left an indelible mark on the nation. Their stories remind us of the complexities of leadership and the enduring impact of their choices. Thank you for joining us for this comprehensive look into the leaders who shaped America's history. If you enjoyed this exploration, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on future videos. In our next episode, we shift gears to explore a different topic. Thank you for watching. See you next time.